an agent of the Trump administration and the Trump campaign, conducted an interview. We saw nearly a doubling of the surge in summertime shootings. The NYPD, according to the New York Times, an agent of the Trump administration and the Trump campaign conducted an interview with public housing residents without telling them that the interview would air at the Republican National Convention.
We see here New York City Councilman for the 15th District in the Bronx once again making headlines as he accuses the RNC and the Trump administration of using 4 leaders from the NYCHA developments and using them for videos in which he claims and making accusations that they did not know that their interview was going to be posted on the RNC convention.
My name is Manuel Martinez.
My name is Claudia Perez.
I'm Quinones, and I'm the president of Douglas Houses, 3,500 strong residents here. And I am a lifelong Democrat. I would really hate to get started on this mayor.
Bill de Blasio and the way he has dealt with public housing residents is disgraceful.
This mayor has made our lives here, and I think every housing development, very uncomfortable.
Under the Trump administration, the New York City Housing Authority has received an influx of cash that it has not seen since 1997.
The video conveys the false impression of grassroots support where none exists.
I'm grateful for the spotlight that President Trump is putting on New York City public housing. I think it's wrong that the Democrats put illegal immigrants before Black Americans. We have people waiting on the waiting list for New York City public housing for 10 years or more, but yet we have illegal immigrants living here. Something is wrong with that picture.
Donald Trump cares so much about public housing. Why are we suffering like we're a lost generation of people?
What do you think about NYCHA itself? I have a lot of NYCHA residents, and we have a federal monitor right now. We see that Lynn Patton is living in one of the buildings.
HUD came in with Lynn Patton as the regional director for HUD. It helped us identify some long systemic problems that we are now putting on the table and having discussions on.
What do you feel about that, about this whole federal monitor thing? And what would you do as public advocate? Would you work with the...
We've earned a federal monitor.
Okay.
We've done a terrible job. It's just I don't trust this federal government. Okay. So we're at a point where we don't trust the federal government, where the state and the city have failed. So what I do know is that the mayor and the governor have been playing a male measuring contest with 400,000 people alive. What we need is money, dedicated stream of income to fix NYCHA from the state primarily. It's the governor. He has to stop saying he's going to give money, and the city should kick in as well. The mayor, unfortunately, has had his administration stop lying about lead and things like management. So we need a real management change. And lastly, any discussion that we have about NYCHA has to include residents. And we have a tendency to do things not with them. So any plan that doesn't have that is a failure.
You feel you would speak to Lynn Patton itself to try to work something out?
I definitely speak to Lynn Patton. Okay. I want to speak to anybody who wants to assist. Okay. But if you're gonna, I think it's okay to bring attention to the issue by sleeping there. I mean, we all know what the issue is. If it's not attached to money, then it's just publicity. So if it's attached to real money coming behind it, then great.
Well, thank you so much.
An interview with public housing residents without telling them that the interview would air at the Republican National Convention.
President Trump's administration have opened their ear and have listened. There's been improvement in public housing. We're very appreciative of this administration that has come and finally shined a light on what's going on and bringing real solutions to a real problem.
We saw nearly a doubling of the surge in summertime shootings. The NYPD is making fewer gun arrests, solving fewer gun cases, responding more slowly to gun crimes in progress. Dramatic increase in gun violence can be best explained by the dramatic decrease in gun enforcement.
That we should expect and hold our elected officials accountable because they're there to represent. People are not there for us. We're there for people. We work for people. I always tell people I work for you.
Defunding police, right? Defunding the police department. Good idea, bad idea in New York City? Real quick.
I think that we need to prioritize where our funding is going to go. We do need public safety. There are people from abroad who don't have the best intention. We're number one target in New York City, and we have issues still, crime that still take place. But we also got to prioritize. So we're going to look at the funding and see how we can invest it in young people. We have 25% of the youth department agency that got cut and only 1% from the NYPD. We need something that is going to be equitable. And I think that's what the majority of people are asking for without compromising public safety.
And I'm known as Henry Live, a conservative reporter, but I'm also a congressional candidate. I have another congressional candidate here. And just wanted to let you know, thank you so much. The last time I met with you and I was able to do my function as a reporter, you're here the second time. So I want people that are going to be streamed live, and you are a person that you came up for the second time. The congressional candidates that are here, we support the cabbies. We totally understand you have to have your legal team to look at that. We're not obligated, so we already signed on, and we support the cabbies, we support everything that's happening, but also as a community. The community is here, what we're facing with the elected officials. I'm an outspoken person, and we're facing here, the elected officials are not listening. As a congressional candidate, they're not listening to this community, to the cabbies, they're not listening with the rezoning, and we need to know that. And we know you're a fighter. You got arrested last week, and you are a person that you're used to that. We want to know in regards to NYCHA, and I spoke to you last time about that, and the opioid crisis, which is tied into the what's happening with mental illness. With NYCHA, we know that we have a federal monitor. It's a disaster. I know it takes time. You just started right now. Any plans to work with the federal government, which is a little difficult with the relationship now? So my question is, the federal government with NYCHA.
Thank you. I'll answer that question first. I've already called for a moratorium on most rezonings in the city because I think they make segregation worse in this city, and that's why I had the bill passed. NYCHA, I've always said that there were two men playing a male measuring contest, the mayor and the governor, with 400,000 lives in NYCHA, and that has to stop. I've met with Lynn Patton, and she's waiting. She showed me she's waiting on a report from the federal monitor. I'm going to see what she says after that. But what we need for NYCHA is we need money, real money. I don't trust this president. I don't trust this health secretary. So I don't know if we're going to get that much money from him. But we do have to get money from the governor, the money he promised that we haven't seen yet. And we should get some more from the city. Also, my hope is that this mayor has stopped deceiving us about things that are going on, particularly around lead. So we need money, better management, and lastly, any plan that comes forward has to